the 49ers player who will regress the most in 2021. Now, I have been asked this question in 2018, 2019, 2020. It always would have been the same answer. Richard Sherman, Richard Sherman, Richard Sherman. And I would have been right last year, maybe not the other 2 years. But Richard Sherman's gone now. Curious to think who you guys think will have the biggest drop-off this year. So just be a hater for no reason. Just hate on someone for no good reason.
Well, I don't like to do this. I don't like to do this, but it's actually going to be one of your players that you think is going to take a step forward. I think Emmanuel Mosley is going to take a step backwards this year.
Oh, wow.
I think, there was sort of a mirage last season when Emmanuel Mosley got onto the field. When he got in after an injury or somebody got benched and he got put into the game, he seemed to play a lot better than when somebody was injured ahead of time and everybody knew he was going to be the starting cornerback. That gave teams a little bit of time to game plan for him. And I think we saw, DK Metcalf, saw some people have some big games. And Emmanuel Mosley, I think when you give defensive coordinators time to actually game plan for him is when he seems to have a lot of issues performing at a high level.
I don't see a lot of regression just because so many guys were injured last year that it's hard to regress on that. But one guy I'm interested in is K'Wan Williams. I like K'Wan Williams. I think he's very talented, but I'm curious to see how D'Amico Ryans runs his defense differently than how Robert Saleh did, where Robert Saleh put his nickel back in a lot of favorable situations with that nickel blitz, also getting Williams a lot of highlight plays. And I just want to see how D'Amico Ryans uses that. Is D'Amico Ryans going to want to have more linebackers on the field, and that decreases Williams' playing time? There's a lot of questions I'm very anxious or very excited to see answered in the coming weeks once the season starts.
Okay. I guess that's a tough one. I guess I'm going to go with Jason Verrett in the sense that he played really, really, really well last year. And the odds of him repeating it, I don't know. He's had a lot of injuries. I guess I don't think that he's going to play 17 games and fall off. My question is, how many games will he play? So Jason Verrett would be a question. Mosley's a good one too. I can't think. I mean, Armstead kind of fell off last year. He would have been a good candidate last year, but there's not much room more that he could fall. Am I missing anyone? I mean, Laken Tomlinson could be one. He's an older guard who's probably not going to be on the team next year. Maybe Laken Tomlinson too, although I know you believe in him. Maybe Laken.
I think a player
Alex Mack. Alex Mack. That's a good one. He's 36
he wasn't on our team last season, but I think just age alone, he can regress. He was already starting to fall off last season. I think it's like the lowest graded PFF season of his career. So to me, that could be spelling trouble for Alex Mack.
Absolutely. And going back to the player who could improve the most, someone who wasn't on the team last year, Ebukam. Moving from linebacker to defensive end, a full year working with Chris Kosarick, playing alongside Bosa, Kinlaw, Armstead. Ebukam could go from having like 14 career sacks to 9 sacks in the season or something like that. So just want to throw him out there too, as long as we're expanding the list.
How about offensive players? None of us besides the line. Do we have any skill position players we think that might take a step back?
Well, my question is, I don't want to. What about George Kittle, man? He missed 8 games last year. Where is he trending? Is he getting better? Is he getting worse? I'm curious because he's 28 and he's really played a very physical brand of football for 4 years. So he'd be someone I would think would regress more than someone like Debo. I mean, I'm not saying Kittle's going to regress, but I put him as a candidate before I would mention Debo or Ayuk or who else is there? Trent Williams? I don't think Trent Williams is going to regress too much, although he's a 30-something-year-old offensive lineman.
I think
what do you think about Debo? What do you think about Debo Samuel? I mean,
he regressed last year.
Same type of physical football, and he regressed last year because of injuries, the way George Kittle sort of did.
Yeah. So I guess those two are similar. What do you think, Mav?
I think just having, a taste of NFL action after missing a year for Trent Williams and then having a taste of a couple injuries and the COVID issue, also just getting Trent Williams back, I think he'll be much better. Maybe not the all-pro 2000, what was that, 2017 when he was an all-pro lockdown left tackle, but he just has to be what he was last year for 17 games. And if he does that, then there should be a lot more production on the offensive line. Plus, if there's a quarterback that runs a sub 4.7 40, that should also help the left tackle a little.
Definitely. All right. So the 49ers player who regressed the most, there you have it.